Good morning. My name's Hugh Lufton. I'm the principal of the Chartered Planning Consultancy, Lufton and Associates, based in Stafford. This morning I'm just making a very quick video with a few views and comments about an emerging situation in the village of Eccleshall, which is about 6 or 7 miles to the west of Stafford. There's currently 4 quite significant planning applications that have been put into Stafford Borough Council for new housing. Some of them have other associated uses. The smallest is for 71 dwellings. They're all outline applications. There's 150, 140 and 480. Not surprisingly, causing a little bit of local controversy. The applications are driven by a change in the way the government calculates the housing land supply through the National Planning Policy Framework, and that saw a very considerable rise in the figures for Stafford, and given the position of the local plan progress, it's meant that developers have come forward. Developers and house builders have come forward. It's basically a competitive situation until a local plan emerges, which is, I think, it was at Regulation 19 stage. So I've just got a few comments on each of these applications. They're my own views as a planning consultant and somebody who's interested in the planning scene in Stafford Borough. So starting from the west side of Eccleshall, there's a planning application between Eccleshall and Alford Heath that's off Shores Lane for 150 dwellings. It's land that's owned by Taylor Wimpey. That land extends further north, and the application includes quite a large area illustrated on a illustrative layout of public open space, a mixture of public open space, incidental open space, some wooded areas, etc. The main problem that I envisage with this application is the access off Shores Lane. So the Highway Authority haven't commented yet. In fact, I don't think they've commented in any of these 4 applications, but I think the significant difficulty here is the access off Shores Lane. As of yet, if you understand what Section 106 agreement is, there's no Section 106 agreement that we can see, no unilateral agreement. There's no heads of terms that have been posted on the planning portal. So I think that the planning authority, the policy element of the planning authority, are correct in objecting to the application as not providing adequate social and service infrastructure, because at the moment they can't see how that's going to be provided, and I think that is a fair objection. Then to the north, there's an application by Phillips Muller Property for 71 dwellings. It extends a site that's sort of just been built in the last couple of years, relatively small housing site. That has significant problems, and it extends into what you're getting into the floodplain of the River Sow, and that's always been a difficulty with the north of Eccleshall. Reading the runes, the correspondence between Severn Trent and the applicant, and between the local lead flood authority, which is Staffordshire County Council, and the planning authority, and the applicant and the planning authority, I can't see that there's an easy resolution to that. It looks a very difficult site to develop. Rightly again, I feel the policy section of the borough have objected to it on the basis of can't see the provision of social and service infrastructure. And again, I think from memory, there's no Section 106 heads of terms, there's no Section 106 unilateral agreement available, so nobody can see how that's going to be delivered. Then we move to the east of Eccleshall, 2 significant applications. One leaves a gap along the Stone Road, and then so there's a few fields along the Stone Road, and then it is accessed off the Stone Road, and it's for 140 dwellings, and that's Bovis Homes. Now, the obvious difficulty here, as I can see, again, the highways, Staffordshire County Council highways haven't commented on it yet, but it doesn't seek to provide any link whatsoever through to Stafford Road. So it's just a completely contained estate. There's a few arrows on the illustrative layout, suggests there might have been some collaborative working with adjoining landowners. I don't know whether that's true or not. Again, the Section 106 agreement is not available. No indicative heads of terms. Certainly no unilateral agreement available. And again, the planning authority, rightly in my view, have objected on the basis of inability to see how social and service infrastructure is going to be delivered. There's nothing on site with that application of 140 dwellings, so it is purely an addition to the village. Then the other one is more significant. That lies to the further to the east, and that's for 480 dwellings, which is promoted by Bovis Homes, which have already got a track record in the village. They've built on the adjoining land. That's a Bovis Homes housing estate, the new estate. Now, this is obviously significant for 480 dwellings. So some problems here. I don't see a clear relationship and how it delivers anything to offer relief to Eccleshall village centre, or town centre if you want to call it a town, between the Stafford and Stone Road. There's a spine road indicated on an illustrative plan. That will be very unclear what purpose that road was going to serve. I mean, as it stands, it's a residential road, so it's in effect a residential street. So you wouldn't expect that to serve in any way as some sort of bypass to Eccleshall centre. The site purports to deliver a primary school, a medical centre, and provision, which I think in the modern parlance would be for the elderly, homes for the elderly, retirement village. Now, reading the ruins again, I can see that the applicant is offering to provide that land, but it's very unclear what contributions they're offering to make to build those facilities. So there is a mention from the Education Department in consultation that there's an expectation that they would like £8.3 million to build a new primary school on that site. Now, whether the applicant is offering that is another matter. So there's some significant difficulties with that site. I believe that site is not prone to flooding, although there's clear evidence at the moment of quite considerable flooding on the adjoining lane, and has been, but then we have had quite exceptional weather situation. That may be deliverable in terms of flood risk and protection, but not without considerable mitigation, which the local lead flood authority, Staffordshire Council, are not in agreement with at the moment. There's an outstanding holding objection. Another matter that's of significant importance because of the scale of that site is its traffic generation and the implications that might have on junction 14 of the M6. Now, while the M6 seems some distance away, a significant proportion of the traffic from Eccleshall village, particularly from new housing, where you look at generated trip rates, that will end up on that M6 junction 14 roundabout. And the National Highway Authority are responsible for the M6, the smooth running of the M6, have an objection outstanding, and they are requiring some detailed survey work and then presumably a robust constructed transport model that demonstrates that those houses can be built without functioning the capacity of that junction. So I think at the moment all four applications have got quite significant shortcomings. And those are my comments as a professional charter town planner interested in the outcome of development in Stafford Borough. Thanks for listening.